What's up, world? This is your guy Guitar K, and today's video is called Find Your Why and the How Will Become Clear. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. Let's say like if we was on this side of a river and you told a person that what they wanted was on the other side. Now, if they didn't really want it, they didn't really care about it, they're going to hit you with a whole bunch of questions like, man, how I'm supposed to get across there? How you expect me to do this? How you expect me to do that? But if it was something that they really wanted, they ain't going to ask no questions. Once you told them that it's on the other side, look, they're going to find a boat. They're going to jump in and swim. What I'm saying is, when you know your why, the how becomes clear. What is your why? If you don't know, pause the video, take some time, stop and think about it. But the sad thing is that you shouldn't have to think about it. You should know your why. Your why is why you get up out the bed every day. It's something that you look forward to doing it. You can't wait to do it. You love to do it. It's your passion. It's your purpose. Look, without no passion, without no purpose, man, you're always going to live a mediocre life. You're always going to stay stuck where you at because nothing moves you. Your passion moves you. Your purpose moves you. You're going to make it happen. It don't matter what nobody else is doing. It don't matter what nobody else is saying. Once you figure out your why, the how becomes so much clearer. It becomes so much easy. It be a lot less complaining, a lot less whining, because you love to do what you're doing. And it don't even matter like if you're getting paid for it or what you're getting back from it. You do it because you love to do it. You do it because it fills your spirit. Look, man, if you don't have something like this in your life, I implore you to find it. Without it, you're always going to have a hole in your soul. You're never going to quite be fully satisfied. You're always going to be searching. Find your why, and the how will become so much clearer. Look, what makes you feel alive when you're doing it? What is your purpose? Before we go any further, let's look at the definition of purpose, because you know what I always say. You will ask somebody, what do something mean? And they tell you what they think it means. And at the end of the day, that's not necessarily true. So let's get down with here what passion and purpose and what just what should be inside of you, man. You should be full of purpose every day. Purpose. The reason for which something is done or created or for which something exists. Why you exist. What you here for. What are you here to do? What are you adding to the world? Because so many times we just walk around taking, I want this, I want that. Let me get this, let me get that. When you find your purpose, man, you ain't worrying about taking. You ain't worrying about finding because you always just worrying about pouring out. Because your purpose is something, like I said, that you love to do no matter what. It don't matter who's looking. It don't matter who's not looking. And look, I ain't talking about like what your job is. That's just your 9 to 5. Now, if your purpose is your 9 to 5, God bless you. You're a lucky person. But for those of us that's not so lucky, you got a 9 to 5. So by 5:10, 5:15, you should be headed toward doing what your purpose is. You're going to find time to do it. You're going to find energy to do it. You're going to find resources to do it. You will make it happen. If it's something that you love to do, ain't nobody or nothing going to stop you from hitting into your passion and your purpose because it's what you love to do. Look, man, your passion and purpose should be so much deeply rooted in you. It should be on you. Your friends should know it's your purpose. Your family should know it's your purpose. Your co-workers, everybody that knows you should know that this is what you about and this is what you do. So much so that like when your friends and family not around you, let's say they go somewhere else and they see something or anything or hear something that reminds them of what you love to do, the next time they see you, they're gonna be like, guess what? The other day I seen so and such, and I thought about you. Why? Because it's your passion and purpose, man. You're always talking about it. You're always doing it. You're posting about it. You're writing about it. You're reading about it. You're learning about it because you are excited about it, man. When you have a passion, when you have a purpose, it gives you a sense of excitement about life. It keeps you from just sitting around, procrastinating, being lazy, because you're going to be up and at 'em and heading towards your purpose full speed ahead every day. Look. And like I said, we don't do it for accolades. We don't do it for applause. We don't do it for attaboys and pats on the back. No. Now, sometimes what you love to do will garner you those things, but that's not the reason that you do it. You get up and do it because you love to do it. It don't matter who's looking. You're going to love practicing it. You're going to love rehearsing it. You're going to love researching it because it is your passion and your purpose. Look, it's always on your mind. It's in your heart. You think about ways you could get better at it. So like I said, you practice it so you can become better at it. Look, when your why is important to you, The how becomes important to you. And you know that you got to practice, you got to rehearse, you got to do what you need to do to get to your passion and purpose. You ain't going to be complaining about the menial parts. You ain't going to be complaining about the day-to-day, because you're looking forward to doing your thing. Whatever your thing is, find it now, man, and do it often. It's the only thing that's going to fill that hole that's inside of us. It's the only thing that's going to build your spirit up. And your passion and purpose is not something that comes from the outside. It's not something that you see or that you hear that other people tell you should do. No, your passion and purpose is burning in you, and you will know that that's your thing to do when nobody else is talking, when nobody else is looking, because you just love to do it. It makes you happy to do it. It makes you feel good to do it. Look. The how becomes important. It garners your attention. It makes you focus. Like I said, you're always thinking about it. You're going to find ways and means to do it no matter what. Like I said, you're going to ask questions. You're going to be in search of better ways to do it and different ways to do it. You're also going to surround yourself with people that share the same passions and purposes. That way y'all can do it together. Y'all can make each other better. Y'all can hold each other accountable, man. If all you do is hang out with people that don't got the same passions and purposes that you do, all they're going to do is kill your dreams. All they're going to do is stunt your passion. They're going to stunt your purpose. They're going to stunt your growth. But when you're around people that do the same thing you do, y'all going to grow together, man. They don't tell them where that thing going to go. Look, man, look. You get inspired by them. They get inspired by you. Look, ladies and gentlemen, man, find it. If you haven't found it already. If you have, I hope that you're doing it right now, or hope that you're getting ready to do it, or you just got finished doing it. And that's what's so crazy about your purpose. You're looking forward to doing it. You're loving it while you're doing it. As soon as you're finished doing it, you can't wait till you're about to do it again, man. Look, you do it as much as you can. So the next time if somebody asks you, what's your purpose? It should just roll off of your tongue. You should be like, I'm glad you asked, because I just love to talk about my passion, and I just love to talk about my purpose, man. Look, find your why and start walking into it. Look, man, look. If it's anything or anyone that's in your life that's keeping you from living in your purpose, you got to cut them out, man. You got to get rid of them. Now, I ain't saying that when you see them in the streets and crossing, you can't speak to them. I ain't saying you got to be enemies, you got to be beefing. But if they don't share the same direction and the same passion and purposes that you going with, they ain't going to be nothing but dead weight. They ain't going to do nothing but hold you back. They're going to keep you from getting to there when you're supposed to get there. Might keep you from getting on there all together, and you never get to reach your passion and purpose because you was worrying about the other people that's not worrying about your passion and purpose like you are. Look, man, find your purpose and you will live more life. You will just live more. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy yourself more. You're going to smile more. You're going to feel better. You're going to have less anxiety. You're going to have less depression, because you're going to be looking forward to doing the thing that you love to do. Look, man, you watching this, I hope you're thinking about that. I hope you're finding something that you love to do. I hope you're finding something that gets you up out of bed and gets you jumping around and excited to do that thing every day, man. Look, my why? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Look, man, I love to inform. I love to inspire. I love to entertain. So I do a lot of different things under that umbrella, man. Look, I work out, I play guitar, I write music, I do my videos. I love talking to people when it's meaningful conversations, when it's something that's going to build up my spirit. And I'm making a couple dollars off this thing, but it's not like something that, it breaks the bank. Now, if I ever get to that level of breaking the bank, then God bless, man, because they say when you do what you love to do for a living, you never have to work another day in your life. Look, man, like I said, I'm here to inform, inspire, and entertain. And I'm going to do that regardless. I've always been doing it. I've been doing it since I was a little kid. My grandmother used to have parties, make me dance around like Michael Jackson. When I went to school, I was a tutor. I was on the school newspaper. Look, I'm always trying to be, gathering information. I love to share information. I love to exchange information. I love to learn. And all today, I try to use my information as wisdom to try to make the best possible decisions that I can make at all times. So just for the day, man, I'm living in my passion. I'm living in my purpose. I get to do what I love to do, talk to y'all. I get to ride my bike around. I get to play my guitar. Look, man, right now I'm on cloud 9. I implore you to find something that will put you on cloud 9 as well. Find your passion. Find your purpose. Because like I said, when you figure out your why, the how becomes so much clearer. This is your guy, Guitar K. Be more